And here we go. It's the Mike Tech Show, show number 820. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Thank you very much for downloading and subscribing to the show. Please visit the main website at miketechshow.com. You can email questions and suggestions for show topics at miketechshow@gmail.com. Please visit my YouTube page at youtube.com/Michael Smith MTS and click subscribe, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content coming up. And I try to post every single podcast, the video, on my YouTube channel. This show is brought to you by Instant House Call for robust remote support for IT pros and MSPs. If you want the best unattended and on-demand remote access service, it's Instant House Call, and you can try it free by clicking on the link on my website at miketechshow.com. It's right on the left-hand side. Just click that. When you sign up for the free trial, remember to use the code MikeTechShow and you get a free 15-day trial, or just go directly to instanthousecall.com. This show is also brought to you by MagnusBox, the best backup service for your clients. They only sell to partners. They do not sell to end users. So you want to get a free trial, go to magnusbox.com and you can test out all the features that paying partners like myself get to use, and you get to kick the tires and test it out with a system, see how easy it is to back up, maybe do a test restore of a file, check it out. They're HIPAA compliant. They now back up Office 365, and it works across all platforms, Linux, Windows, and Mac. So right now, for listeners of this podcast, if you mention you heard it on the Mike Tech Show, you receive free white labeling for your company and get 50% off the platform fee for your first 3 months. Check them out, magnusbox.com. Tonight's show got a lot to cover. So that ding is when I bring down the overlay in OBS, because I have to have my cursor on OBS and then you won't hear the ding. So anyway, that's what that ding is. Stories from the trenches. Just a couple quick, a real couple quick stories. Then we're going to talk about a program called Unroll. Apps for iOS and Android. Sirius Xm Dealer App. Account Killer. And we're going to review a couple. What does it take to remove an account like Facebook? Have your Sirius XM subscription. Detailed instructions on almost every account you could ever think of. That's Account Killer. And then a stack of email. So let's begin with some stories from the trenches. And this happens all the time where I have to troubleshoot browser startup. And one of the things you need to do, whatever browser it is, go into the extensions and start disabling extensions. That's most likely the number one culprit of a slow browser load. Go in and check that out. And while you're there, especially Chrome, go in and disable the pop-ups. And here's something that I missed. I made sure disabled pop-ups for a client was in Chrome, but he was still getting them. My son logged in and said, "Dad, you forgot to delete the allowed sites that starts adding to be ignored so they can deliver pop-ups. And then you also got to disable the notifications in the operating system, so Windows 10. So just a couple things to be aware of when you are doing the troubleshooting a browser. Next, a project that I have that a client has Google Apps and they want to move to Exchange hosted, and it's going to be direct with Microsoft. I need the best way to move all of their shared, they have a ton of Google calendars that they use for all of their employees who are drivers and different things that they manage their schedules. I got to convert that to Exchange. What's the best way out there? Need some help from anybody that's hearing this, that you've been through this. This is one of the first times that normally it's just an individual, and that's easy. I just export everything and then import everything. And I may still have to do that individually, get the PST files, re-import them, and then after they're all imported, then share them all out. That's what I'm going to do if I don't get anything easier to do. So wanted to throw that out there. Email password reset story. Had a client that did not pay attention to the Verizon notification that they were moving to AOL for mail. That was a while ago. Their SureWeb account used their AOL email for billing, because if you're setting up a brand new SureWeb account, you have to have a secondary email and be able to not only do the email, but notifications, billing. And if you don't have that new email set up, you got to have a secondary email. So they used their AOL. As a matter of fact, I'm the one who set it up for them. Well, now they got to reset their password for SureWeb, and guess what? They can't do it because it's going to send an email to AOL. They can't get their AOL mail, so I get a phone call. And so I got to backtrack everything. And we find that I am so happy that Verizon had the client's mobile phone number. So we go to log in to AOL. It recognizes the Verizon.net email, but we got to reset the password. They were able to get the verification on the cell phone. We were able to do that. Once we did that, now I can reset their SureWeb email where the notification is going to go to the AOL and they could get it. So real quick, and this is for USS Rover in the chat. You're not allowed to put a link. Anybody that's in the live chat, when you type a link, it just appears as asterisks. You're not allowed because you have to be a moderator. So what we do, we have plenty of moderators. What you would do is send the link via private message to the moderator, and the moderator will post the link. So that's just a little tip for anybody who joins me live on the stream chat for Twitch, which is what we use during the show live. And someone I know is trying to put some links into the chat, and that's to stop spamming. So please just send it to one of the moderators, do a private message, and they'll put it in. Okay, so I was able to solve everything for the emails today. Something to beware of, and I mentioned this in the last show, and it continued. Someone's Comcast email got compromised, and there were a lot of rules. Well, guess what? There was one filter that was missed, and new emails were still not getting in. They were being forwarded to another email, and that rule, my son was able to find and delete the rule, and now the user's getting their mail. So just another reminder to make sure that you will check all of the rules. Just it takes a couple minutes. If you even barely think that an email has been compromised, you must check out the rules after you get the password reset and just clear them all out. All the filters or all the rules. Okay. So speaking of clean out, this one is unroll.me. And this was given to me by listener Joe, where we were at the Phillies game this week, and he gave me a couple other tips, which I'm going to cover here. This is how it'll go through your inbox, and I'm just going to click here and show everybody. Once you go to unroll.me, to get started, you have to sign in with Outlook, sign in with iCloud, sign in with Google. Here's the problem. When I sign in with Outlook, I think that's going to go right to Microsoft. I don't know, or Outlook.com. I live in an Exchange inbox, but I might have it like test with my Google account and sign in. I hate giving access like this, but Joe said it works. He's used it, so check that out. It's called Unroll Me. Maybe use it with a third test email or something that, put a couple junk messages in there and let's see it. I think that's what I'm going to do. All right. Or you know what? I'm not using anymore my TechVets email, which I still have. So what I might do is like have it clean up, TechVets. Okay. Sirius XM Dealer App. I am going to have links to the iOS and Android apps. If you want, I would say try it out. You need the VIN number for your vehicle and take a picture of it. All you need to do is download this app and you drive to a dealer's lot and just pull in, run this app with the VIN number. It doesn't matter if you've had it before or not. It knows you're in a dealer and it will give you 3 free months of Sirius XM, because this is how dealers refresh the free 3 months. And this app's available to everybody, but the thing is, you just have to be in a dealer's lot. I don't know if you're going to take the time to do it, but you want to save some money, this is something to try. I'll have links to both of these. Okay. And we were testing this tonight. Account Killer. AccountKiller.com. Go to this for instructions on how to delete an account. Maybe it's your Twitter account, Facebook. Well, it came up the difficulty in trying to delete your Sirius XM account if you have a trial. So when you go to the main link that I'm going to have in the show notes, click All Guides, and they're alphabetical. You don't want to send the support ticket, and that's where it keeps popping up for you. They want your info. You don't have to give your info here. You're going to get all the guides. So let's scroll down. There are so many things I've never heard of. Here you go. How to cancel your HBO Go account. Here we go. We're going to pick this. So it talks about HBO Go, how to cancel it. Navigate your browser to www.hbogo.com/#home/ and it gives you all of the instructions. And then it also gives you how to cancel by phone, a live agent. This is a cool site that I want to keep, because what if a client or customer or friend or family member, somebody wants to kill an account? Hey, there you go. AccountKiller.com. Got some really useful utilities here. So now what I want to do is get to some email. And we have a lot of cool links within the emails tonight. So let's begin with, hold on. Here we go. This is from Bill. He says, check out everything at voidtools.com. This little app, and there's a portable app for everything. And I've used this, and I've given this to clients who wanted to be able to search everything on their computer. It's clean, it's simple, it's free. And you definitely want to do that. So I don't know why people keep it's bothering me, and I'm going to take the time again. People in the chat continue to put websites. They're not going to appear. So this will be the last time I address this tonight. I'll edit this out probably. Okay. All right. So now let's keep going with some questions and the answers. So this is a question by Dexter. What NAS and disk size are you replacing servers with, and how are you backing them up? Okay. Synology's, when I put a NAS in place, especially, I like Synology. If it's a 2 or a 4 bay, I try to make it a 4 bay all the time. I want to use NAS built drives. So the Western Digital Pro Red NAS drive, I want the better drive. I want the ones that are 7,200 RPM, and I will get the size based on how many bays and how much data they need. So one of the things that you got to do is calculate what are going to be the growth needs, what kind of size, and then that determines, what size drives. If I have 4 bays, because of the RAID that's set up with Synology, you're going to lose one of the drives. So only 3. So if I get 4 terabyte drives, well, you say that's a total of 16 terabytes. No. Because of the fault tolerance that's going to be set, you're only going to have 12 minus one of the drives. Just like if it's a 2 bay, you're going to mirror. So let's say I want 4 terabytes and it's a 2 bay drive. I'm going to put 2 4 terabytes, but I'm only getting 4 because that 4 terabytes is mirrored to the second drive. So do your calculation. How do you back it up? I love Magnusbox, but they just rolled out the Synology, and I'm in the middle of testing. And so right now for Synology's, I'm using Amazon Glacier. And until I get confirmation that, and I'm using the Synology with Magnusbox. Now, they're great with every device, every operating system. But one of the things I need to still test with, and I'm having some difficulties, and we're working them out. Once I know everything's worked out and everything's good, then I will unleash the hounds and recommend it for the Synology. But right now for a Synology, you definitely want to look at something inexpensive like Amazon Glacier to get started. And that's very easy to set up with the Amazon account. And then with the app, it's built in for the Synology. You can easily download it. So that's what I do. That's what I emailed Dexter with those comments. Now, this is very, very good. Mike, is there a PC decrapifier you recommend? And this would be for Windows 11 PC. And this is from Acon. So Acon, I happened to get a email from Kate. And she says, "Hi, Mike. I saw this article and I wonder if you know anything about this. I have heard of this, Kate, and I just haven't went through it myself." She continues, "I stopped paying attention to Lifehacker years ago because so much of what they published was out of date or just flat out wrong. But if this is good, you might want to share. And if it's a complete waste of time, you might want to share that." So I need someone that's going to be testing this out for me just to double check it. And it's from Lifehacker, and it's you can get rid of Windows bloatware with one command, because it's going to be a shell script for Windows, and the link is in the chat. Check it out. If anybody has something better for getting rid of bloatware in Windows 11, please let me know, and I will be glad to check it out and mention it on a show. So now a couple things here. I'm pausing. I need some water. Okay, we got a bunch of emails still here. G Suite Legacy Free Edition. Okay, let's get the... Okay. This email is from Kurt. Big email. Hi, Mike. I have trouble finding time to listen to your podcast, but I enjoy them very much and always learn something. Thank you. I know the effort it takes to record something worthwhile. One time when it's easy to listen is when I go out walking for exercise. Spring is coming and I'm starting to make time to get out for walks and therefore catching up on podcasts. I am one of those affected by Google's termination of their legacy free version. I have 4 primary email accounts hosted by Google. I certainly don't want to now find myself and my business paying about $20 per month for these accounts. I hadn't thought about shifting them to Microsoft 365, probably because I don't think of this as an alternative. I do maintain a Microsoft 365 account family plan. Did I understand you to imply that Microsoft could host my domain's email as part of Microsoft 365? That would be fantastic. Absolutely. But I don't think you're personal. You're going to go to business Microsoft 365. And here's an update. Looks like I'd have to have a Microsoft business plan. Yes. And that cost about the same as Google or worse. So while my working career was doing systems programming, operating system stuff, not applications, for large scale IBM mainframes, ZOS, real programmers, code and assembler. My career in retirement has been in website development for small nonprofits and businesses. I listened to you lamenting the cost for hosting for tech vets. I and my clients use inexpensive shared hosting accounts with a trusty provider. I describe these hosting accounts as roughly $10 a month when purchased on a 3-year contract. Well, $10 a month, that's still $120 a year, I mean, I was paying a little more than that, but if we're not recording, why should I pay it? While my clients usually only run one website on their account, I run many on mine. I don't know what you use to build tech vets, but it's likely I could run it on my hosting account. If you can supply details, I'll see what I can do. First off, as a proof of concept, I really appreciate that, Kurt. I absolutely appreciate it. The only problem is we don't have time to record. I know you use GoDaddy. They are definitely not a favorite vendor of mine, and I've never recommended anyone use their services. It's not that they're unscrupulous, they're just generally not economical. I've also found their site difficult to use and manage domain registrations. I actually found that to be the opposite, and I think that's why I'm comfortable with navigating and managing the DNS of GoDaddy, and everybody interfaces with them no matter where I'm, what client or anything. So I register the domain, but the website can be hosted anywhere. You don't have to buy the web hosting from GoDaddy. As a matter of fact, I have a lot of clients that use web hosting from different places, especially if they have a website designer that likes a particular hosting. So what I'll do is just get the A record and IP addresses that I need, and then I will edit the DNS. He continues, a website can be thought of as a combination of three things. A domain name, purchase and register a domain name from a company that does it well, does it economically, offers good service, and doesn't charge extra for private registration. I recommend what used to be called one-in-one and is now known as IONIS. That's an affiliate link, but the commission is so small and the plan may have changed, so I won't get anything much should you use it. I recommend this vendor specifically for domain hosting. Their other services I believe are good. I just have other preferred vendors. I also recommend that my clients purchase their domain registrations and hosting from different providers, and it makes it a lot easier should either one go bad. By the way, I don't own the domain name registrations. My client owns that. One of the terrible problems is when I take over an account and their previous IT company won't release access to the domain. And I've ran into that. Number 2, he continues, a hosting solution. The $10 per month accounts I referred to above. My current preferred vendor is A2 Hosting. That too is an affiliate link. The pay is reasonable commission. I'd be happy if you or others used it. I typically recommend their Drive or Turbo Boost hosting plans. These accounts will easily host multiple moderate activity websites. I have clients that have email accounts with gigabytes of email hosted in these accounts. Now, I'm going to stop and comment there for a second. For me, I will not allow my clients to have email hosted with their website and whoever it is, abc.com, GoDaddy, because usually they're not great email providers and there's downtimes and issues. Right now, I stick to it's either Google Apps, Microsoft directly, or SureWeb. That's it. If you're a client of mine, you're on one of those three. Number 3, the website content. That is something to manage and serve website content. While WordPress is the statistical leader in content management systems, I have traditionally preferred Drupal up to and through Drupal version 7, but not for Drupal 8 and above and beyond. And we'll be building future websites in a fork of Drupal 7 called Backdrop CMS. Okay, I'm not familiar with that. As you might guess, this is where I make my money building and supporting websites. Many sites are fairly static. Others regularly update their content themselves. I should point out that since I and my clients have moved to A2 hosting, all of our sites have been running HTTPS, not HTTP. We do this without paying anything for security certificates. Now that I am going to look into. I configure these sites so that should a site visitor attempt to connect via HTTP, the request gets seamlessly converted into a HTTPS request. Your sites do not appear to be running HTTPS. Actually, my main site is. Actually, my MTS Consulting and MikeNation.net is. Google's Chrome issues a warning when I attempt to connect to MikeNation.net, although it does get converted. It's not hard if you know how to redirect HTTP requests to HTTPS with a few lines of code in the htaccess file. I am not good with htaccess file, and Kurt offered to help me with this. Kurt, if you send me the code, I will take a look at that for the htaccess file. I really appreciate it. Regarding Microsoft 365, for the past few years, I've been purchasing my license for Microsoft 360 Family from Costco online. They discount the product to about $89.95. Not a really big deal, but the license term is for 15 months, not 12. That's a substantial discount for a product that never seems to go on sale. Yes, I found Bose does not discount. Microsoft, 365, they don't discount. And I'm trying to think of where's the there's someone else. I forget that's really big and they don't discount. He has a link here that I am going to put in the show notes. Note that it's an international English. I don't know about that. Site and offers 365 Family at US dollars $79.99. If you ask for the site in American English, the cost jumps to $99.95. I'm not going to post this because I don't know, and I'm afraid of getting an international English as opposed to American English, and I don't want to have issues or promote that there be issues. So I would have to personally test that out. A friendly note, and this is where I used to call him Curtis because I don't want to automatically put a nickname. That's how he always signed it. So he wants me to use Kurt. So Kurt, thank you very much for this email and everything that you always contribute to the show. I really appreciate it. And if you are having problems with the G Suite Legacy Free Edition, a great link from Chris. I just found this today as I am getting ready to migrate off the free G Suite. Microsoft is offering a 60% discount for the first year for users migrating to Microsoft 365. I thought I would pass this along this link. Now that is awesome. If you can save 60% on year one, now they're going to get you at normal price for every year thereafter, but hey, you get to save a little money. Okay, this is from Bob. And you know what? I'm going to put a link in the show notes, but I'm not going to play it on the show. I'm going to play it in the post show because I believe there's a bad language in it. He writes, my wife and I were watching Space Force on Netflix when they were trying to regain control of a satellite that had been taken over by hackers. Just as they did, the system required a Microsoft update. I feel his pain every Patch Tuesday, and I know you guys do too, so I thought I would share. Bob from New Hampshire, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And remember, just go to MikeNation.net or MikeTechShow.com and it'll flip you to it. And in the show notes for show 820 will be this YouTube link. And clearly someone has a great sense of humor who's writing for that series. So that's very cool. All right. I think that's it for tonight's show. And I want to thank everybody for downloading and staying subscribed. I really appreciate it. Remember to visit YouTube and click subscribe. Don't forget to check out Instant House Call for all your remote access needs, and also Magnus Box for all your backup needs. And we also have an affiliate link for Fab's Auto Backup 7 Pro. It is the best software for moving all of your settings and your files from one system to another. We use it all the time, sometimes every day. So it is well worth it. Go check it out. Link is in the show notes. That is it, everybody. Have a great weekend. Have a great week, and I'll see you back here next week. Same time, same channel. Bye-bye.